Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Boy Mayava, and we bring you yet another round of SRL action. Joining me in the commentary booth is my good friend, the one, the only Tilavaru Vakatini. Tilavaru, how are we?
I am doing well, John Boy. Both sides are flirting with the top four spot. We're here in the Hunter as always, and I am super excited for this matchup.
So I'd say it's a pleasure to be in Newcastle, but that'd be a lie. The Knights, obviously third place on the table, coming off well, you'd have to say, emphatic win over a unusually off the ball Titans outfit last week, 18-6. They ran out victors. Rousey Plush and Mai Mayava helped steer the team to yet another victory as Pretzel's men look to make it another win in a row. As the Knights run up onto the field there. For the Raiders, again, they got the job done last week. And they ran out, I think it was one score winners over the Panthers. I think it was 12-6, something along those lines. So both teams coming off some serious momentum. We should be in for a good game, Tilvar.
Yeah, it should be a good game. Key matchups for tonight: Mai Mayava and Riley Flynn. Both halves: Josh Pretzel, James Godwin, and I'm really excited for the locks and Pancake Gamer and Mitch Barnes here.
Oh, yeah, look, actually, I was going to talk about that man, Mitch Barnes. He's been fantastic, hasn't he been, Tilvar?
Yeah, it's been amazing for the Raiders. He's been one of my close friends since they were never.
Big hit. That's poor from the Raiders. I'm not sure who's forced that hit from the Knights, but he's set them in good field position. It'll be Jareem Hodgkinson who takes a hit up. And like we were saying, the Raiders needed to start well, and that is far from ideal for Riley Flynn's men. And they'll flick the ball out wide to Indurain, and Indurain will get up over to the 10. And I was going to ask you, who to you stands out on this Knights team as someone that needs to step up as Mama goes for a dance, but she's brought down just shy of the 5.
Definitely Yeah, definitely Mai Mayava with that good run. Josh Pretzel, Indurain.
Mama's a big SRL
so
fantasy
close.
scorer. Oh, that's poor. Oh, that's poor. Riley Flynn snags an intercept, an intercept off the base of the ruck. Knights may be rightfully aggrieved. I reckon he was offside by a little bit. But the referee's waved play on. He checked his TAB account and it said all good. As the Raiders now. They'll play their way up over the 20. Mitch Barnes, the Barnes storming lock he is. Like I said, another high performer for the Raiders. His try a few weeks ago where he ran the length of the field against, I think it may have been the Tigers, but I'm not too sure. As the Raiders get their subs all mixed up, that's no good as Cameron Hodgson jumps on it. And then the Raiders seem to be playing a game of inviting the Knights into their own half. And the Titans played this game last week and they lost it, to be clear. So they'll want to sharpen things up, the Raiders, especially in attack. I think you can understand maybe a few errors when you don't have the ball, but that's just a mental gaffe from the Raiders standoff. And yes, he is held up. The referee checks it, and it is a no try. And they'll sit up out here. You'd love to see some shape from the Knights off this set play, but you won't really get it. It'll be a one-off hit to Pancake Gamer. Top 5 all-time team, right up there with Cooper Speedman. As Realme drives, but he'll be dragged over, put on his back, and the ref wants to have a look. Unfortunately for the ref, I think that is no try. He's put on a bit of weight recently, a bit larger around the hips. Anyway, yes, no try for Realme. It's good to see the halves are prying for the Knights. That's exactly what you'd want, and that's why they're one of the best teams in the competition right now, to Lavaro.
Yeah, of course, Josh Pretzel and Alex Remy are one of the best halves in the competition. As you said earlier, the referee has probably gained some weight, probably ate too much pancakes here.
Yeah, probably not Big Macs. Oh, Israel just slices through. Tilvaro, reckon that try down for me. Looks like they just opened up and said, please score.
Yeah, I saw some deja vu from Alex Remy. He always just wants to run it straight, and he got the chockies there.
Look at this. The B and the C defender. I'd say it's a miscommunication, but that didn't infer there was any communication at all. Realme dots over, and he's made a habit of being on the try scorers tally this season, has Realme. He scored a match-winning field goal 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, against the Bulldogs. And Pretzel will take conversion. Now, I'll be talking about trends recently, Tilvaro, and one of the biggest trends, I think, emerging out of the SRL last few weeks in particular, that we've not been treated to many high-scoring games.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the scoring in SRL, but it's been lots of low scores throughout the past 2 weeks here.
Yeah, and you'd hope that the team sort out their shit. Maybe there might just be some teething pains, but we are all of maybe 7 weeks in the competition. You'd think that they've got that sorted out by now. But to be fair, a lot of these players are playing for the first time together, so we'll have to give them some graces. The Raiders will start us off yet again, and Pretzel with a big hit up off over the 21, and his men will get around him. Not a big fan of this new trend of halves taking hit ups at the kickoff. You want to give it to a big bopper, surely. And so we have big boppers. We have Cameron Hodgson getting it up to the 30. It's the second tackle, though. The Knights, they've got options as well. See, Plush goes through to the middle. I'm not sure who's just been fended into the mantle of the earth, but Rolsey Plush has claimed yet another victim. As the Knights... Oh, no? As the referee called off the Raiders there. Be a bit harsh on the Raiders, you'd think. I thought that was a clear as day knock on.
Yeah, I thought that was a knock on by the Knights here, but as you said earlier, the halves running it straight at the kickoff. I do really want to see lots of big boppers in the kickoff because that's what they are known for.
I'm a big fan of big men. As Maxwell now, up over to the 35. And Rosie Plush, she's been known as a run first halfback, not halfback, hooker. Diminutive in stature, but not in demeanour. She has been anything but going easily or going silently as Rosie Plush now gets up over the 21, just inside the 20 now. 37 metres gained in the set. It's felt like 370, I swear, as the Knights now. Pancake Gamer puts it up, and you don't really want to see him kicking too often, but it's quite a well-weighted kick in the end, but Tallis Riff, he diffuses it expertly, and the Raiders will make it up out of their 5 metre line now. Up to Mitch Barnes. Mitch Barnes plays standoff, and it's up to Ether. Ether gets up over the 13. And the Raiders now, they're struggling for yardage, to put it lightly. Let's see it now. Set up over the 23. I think they're trying to get some shape going right, but they go left instead, where they don't really have numbers. And it's Irby Arnworth, I believe, is the name. You get to the 35, and they could take a 40-20 attempt if they want it. I'm not sure if they're good enough for him to like his options, and they aren't. Riley Flynn steps one, doesn't step the second one. The second man tackle brings him down. And after 10 minutes to Lavaro, it's been a absorbing affair.
It's been back and back from both sides here, but we did get the try from Alex Ralmy.
Oh, hold the phone as Hodgkinson breaks through. There's a foot race gets Riley Flynn. I think Flynn's got him covered there. He'll keep going though, Hodgkinson, and he is brought down in the end. An electric break there from the young winger. Like one of the full wingers competition. Oh, that's not exactly what you'd like for Ralmy. We talk about front football, and that was quite firmly both back feet behind it. As Rossi Plush will have a go though. She's brought down on the 5. And they've got options right, and I think that's what they're screaming for. As Ralmy takes it again, he'll have a dab, but he's brought down on the try line, and the ref will check it yet again. And he is fat, eh? Anyway. Yes, clear as day. He's held up. I think the Knights want to get on with this here. They've got the Raiders on the back foot. The Raiders have not turned up to the party quite yet, have them? They've stayed on the plane in Canberra. Stayed at the tarmac at Canberra, I should say. And the Knights now going left. It's a wide Pancake. Pardon the pun, but Pancake's just been flattened. As Indurain regathers it, you're kidding. I was just going to say, I thought that was clearly lost forward. But the referee has seen it differently, or his TAB account's seen it differently. They'll play it now. They could go left, and they'll just, it's a yawning gap, and the other half Prince combines. And to quote a wise man, 6-7, and that's all that she wrote for the Knights. It's the 6, then the 7, the 7, then the 6. Prince scores. It's 0-2 easy, and I think it's the B and C marker again for the Raiders. We'll get another replay here, and Rolsey Plush floats a nice mark. Yeah, it is. Flynn's just stared at him, and he's gone straight over the top. Straight through him, I should say. Pretzel will convert his own kick. He's been on fire as the young man. I've been told he'd love to play with Pacific All-Stars. Not this Mickey Mouse State of Origin nonsense that Australians like to play. Pretzel now. We'll kick to add the extras. And to Lavaro, look, we said the games have been relatively low scoring so far this season. We could have our hands on a rout.
Yeah, both halves scoring to try in like almost similar plays. I thought Pancake Gamer knocked it on forwards. I think Daniel Hallier in disguise got it wrong here.
As the Raiders will kick us off yet again. 12 minutes in, it's 12-0. I think the Knights are looking good for playing the clock. What's he push now? And obviously, it seems that the hookers in the competition have taken up to passing the ball now, which is always good to see. Knights now. They'll fling it wide. Over to Ewan Mayava. Ewan Mayava has some space. He steps to the centre, I believe, but is brought down on the 35. And if they get dragged back in again, the Knights could go to for 40-20, and I think they might just do that. Realmy's brought down. If they get to Pretzel, they can have a go. They get to Pancake. Why is Pancake? Oh my god, that's beautiful. It holds up just for Mr. Flynn. And Pancake nearly had a 40-20 screamer for the ages. Raiders now. Ball out to Arnworth. Arnworth gets up over the 21. And it would seem that the game has kind of settled into its flow now to Lavara. I say that, and
Yeah.
I'm going to say call him KTB. KTB gets a 15-meter break, but yeah, Tilavari game's settling for a minute.
Yeah, but we see a really good run from Riley Flynn, and intercepted.
Absolute brain explosion. Just hold the ball, son. The Raiders were looking really, really good. The Riley Flynn explodes through the line, and Mama Mayava with the last-ditch effort manages to bring him down, and then he decides to throw a Hail Mary pass for no apparent reason on the first tackle. Otis Keane now. A Keane run onto the ball. Pretzel with a hellacious hit up into the defense. Full tackle. They're outside of 40-20 range, so you might want to see them go blindside. They're setting up blockers blindside, and that's exactly what they'll do. Indurain with a relatively effective hit up. He gets up to the halfway line, and they'll want to kick it. I wouldn't kick it down KTB's wing. He's looked dangerous so far. But that's exactly what they'll do. He will gather a shallow kick. He should get up to the 40 at least, KTB. In fact, he'll get up over to the 30. Oh, no, brought down just shot. Riley Flynn's lurking in the backfield, but they can't get the ball out. It's a last-minute offer from Tim James to Martin. Martin gets poleaxed. And KTB regathers his lollies. He'll step one. It's a flying effort there from one of the Knights. And Godwin, flat ball, out to Barnes. Barnes now plays it up on the halfway line. We're back into the halfway point of the half, and that's when the subs like to roll. Which one of the benches do you prefer? Oh, do you reckon has the upper hand here to the bar?
I reckon the Knights for Maori Ora and Isaiah Latu. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, or another error.
Holy, hold the ball, bro. As the referee plays it. All I can imagine is that there was no advantage there. Who knows? Pretzel now with another head up. You have to be careful. We've had quite a fair few injuries the last couple of weeks in the SRL. As also Plush looks for another victim, but she doesn't find one. They wrap her up in a good two-man tackle. As Pretzel is brought down on the 25. And the Knights, they're targeting the ruck here because the Raiders are slow getting up off their feet. Brownie spots space. He flings it wide to Pancake Game, and Pancake Game was brought down on the 20. I like the blind side. They should go blind side. They've got the numbers. That's exactly what they'll do to Joey June. They probably wanted to go into Jareem instead of June. But they're in good field position. If they put it up, I reckon they're odds on for a try here. You and Mayava sniffing around. But it ends with a whimper for the Knights, to say it lightly. So they're not the greatest set they've put together so far today.
Yeah, it's been error central for both sides, and I don't really like seeing errors. I just want, it's another penalty. Or
Lazy. Broadcasting standards mean I can't say what I want to say, but get up, you big boy. That's unacceptable, especially when you've got the Raiders under the pump. They're really struggling to get out of their own end, and you give them a leg up. I mean, you just can't be doing that in first-class footy. And the Knights now, they'll have to grapple with that. As they bring them down, bring down Talis Rift, shy of the halfway line. And for the Raiders, you'd be targeting that 20-yard, or you'd be targeting the try line, but, I think you'd going to the 20-yard line, going for a big kick, wouldn't you, Tulavara? Maybe a bomb?
I don't know.
As they ball out, Riley Flynn, it's a draw and pass. It's a beautiful draw and pass, and he sets off Riff, and Riff goes again. And they made that 20-yard line. You'd love getting to the 10-meter line potentially. There's a Caval pick out. I believe that's Rolsey Plush who's picked out, running at the smallest person on the field. It's a great strategy. Grubber, or a flat ball. Flynn can't step his man, and they're brought down. You'd like to see the enterprise, but I thought a kick was well and truly on there, Tulavara.
Another lazy stuff there from the Raiders. Incoming subs, Ora Latu, Barker, and Ranga Rage.
Yeah, Mauri is most definitely one of the premier bench forwards in the competition, and has struggled with turning up to training recently, much to the chagrin of the Knights' leadership. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. As for Latu, obviously he's a try-scoring freak himself. I think he scored last week, and so he'll be looking to add to his meat pie tally. As they'll play it to Pretzel, who kicks an absolute stinker. That is hot cheeks. Flynn gathers it. Flynn nearly pays him back by running it out, but he doesn't quite have the brain of fade. That's either. Again, he's been active. He's been eager for the Raiders either. You'd love to see Tim James have a go. Rossi, his opposite number, Rossi Push, has had his, well, you'd probably say been the better performer of the two. His Rage. Put down the 14. It's been a bit of a nothing set for the Raiders given the field position they had. They go left now to Arnworth, and Arnworth will get up on just shy of the 30. I want to see a little bit more from them. They've just been a bit pedestrian, and that's exactly what will happen. And they'll scale cup out. You'd hope Martin throws the pass there because he almost set off his winger. And instead, they'll be forced to punt the ball here. 17 minutes left. You would have hoped that they maybe add to or just put any points on the board. And kick it down the wing of Maiava. The midget goes for a little run. She's brought down over the 12, and she won't add to her try scoring tally just yet. Mai, one of the, like we mentioned earlier, but one of the highest scoring fantasy players to Lavara.
Yeah, last week, my scored 42.7. She's usually one of more higher scorers, like 50 plus. But last week was a bit of a quiet game for my.
Yeah, fair enough. As Plush now has another run, and I think that's the point difference is that the Knights hooker Plush has just been taking on the Raiders. As Pretzel kicks again, put away the boot, brother. Oh, Flynn foots the touchline. The touchline says no thank you, and he manages to stay in. He loves that right sideline, does Riley Flynn. He's nearly ran out about 3 times so far this game. As barges his way up over to the 35. The Raiders will go right now, and Tim James, he has his first stinking go of the game, you'd have to say. And that's exactly what they need because he steals about 6 meters. And the Raiders almost get their subs mixed up. And I think that ball's actually meant to go to the winger, not Luke Thompson. But Luke will get them to the 12. They've got one more tackle. Surely you just hit up, then yep. Although Barge is ramped up with ease there by a Knight. And the Raiders now. Throwing it back. To Thompson, who just drops it. There's no other words for that. That was just terrible. And now the Knights going right. And the Raiders have struggled to make anything happen as Mai makes 2 miss. Can't make the third man miss, unfortunately, for her. Though she spotted Daylight head for a backdoor ball. Pancake doesn't pass it. Get up over to the 30. With 13 minutes left in the game, what do you want to see from both teams, Delora?
I would like to see less errors, of course, and more line break.
Yes, I'd like to see something happen too. As Mai's dragged down on the 32, there's some indecision there. Rossi Plush decides against passing, and she's wrapped up with ease by, I think that's Caval. No, it's not last tackle. as Pretzel kicks a stinker. And Riley Flynn. Riley? I'm not quite sure what I've seen there. Let me get a replay. Riley Flynn has stopped, looked at the sideline, and I think he's seen somebody recognise. He's forgotten he's had the ball. He's walked out. Tilavaro, is there any analysis you can add to that?
I think that was a smart kick from Pretzel trying to get Riley Flynn to the sideline, and guess what? They did. They got Riley Flynn got the sideline.
As Brelsey puts her hand through the chest of a Raiders defender, it was the rare tactical shit. Terrible kick. As my Harbour is wrapped up on the 27. She's been busy so far. I mean, hasn't had the meters she'd normally like, but she's been busy. We'd probably have to say 8+ touches with the ball. And Myra, she'll deputise a dummy off to Joey June. Joey June gets up to the 11, I think, give or take. You just hope that they get to the kick this time, and that's what Pretzel will do, and Pretzel sends it sideways. KTB diffuses it, and I'm not exactly loving the options from the from both teams so far today. The Raiders throw a speculators. Mitch Barnes will shrug off one. He shrugged off 4 to go the length of the field a couple of weeks ago. And the Raiders now. They'll go wide to Luke Thompson. Thompson to Rage, and Rage can't do much of that again. I'm just looking for any signs of life from the Raiders so far this game. They've been dormant, to say the least. And the Raiders, they'll go up for the Tim James over scoop, but he's met by his opposite number, Rolsey Plush, who dominates him in the tackle. You don't see that often from Tim James. He's one of the premier hookers in SRL Season 1. Oh, Jesus Christ. Rage has gone in the way of Luke Thompson, I believe, is trying to deliver a kick, and they've gifted the Knights a starting set in their own half tomorrow.
Yeah, I do believe that there's 5 errors in the first half for the Raiders. Bit of a brain fart there from Ranger Rage, one of the also best names in the SRL 2.0.
I think Ranger Rage gets an honorable mention so far. There is a lot of good names. Shaq Daddy is still one of my favourite ones. Apparently, it's also William Kay's favourite name too. As My steps 1, brought down on the 12, off the 14 give or take, and they're going right here. They'll love the shape. Melby doesn't quite get to the pass, but he'll absorb the tackle and he'll bring one defender in. I thought he almost had 2. They'll go right again. Surely they give the ball to Ewan. Nope, they'll give it to Cameron Smith, and Smith... Cameron? I think he's lost the ball in the con. I think he's lost the ball in the con. No. Oh, no. Cameron, you've got to ground the ball, brother. Oh, that's unfortunate. They won't give us a replay, but that's just poor from Cameron. He's better than that. He's been one of their best players, I honestly think, on that edge. And he's lost his marbles, to put it lightly. And the Knights, somehow they benefit. I don't think there was any advantage played from that. I think it should still be Raiders' ball. But Rolsey Plush is met by two-man tackle. I think they've found the way to putting Plush down is just a gang tackler. She runs with some venom, does the young hooker. And Modi order now, up over the 28. As June is hit harshly, and the Knights are struggling field position here. Pretzel's calling them over, and he'll fling it wide to Relby to My brought down on 31, and they'll have to punt it here. I'd look out for a kick return try. The Knights are stretched out to the left, and I think that's where they're going. It is where they're going. Watch out for the centre here. If he overcommits, that's the length of the field, Tallis. And he does overcommit, but I think he's inside cover from the 12, I want to say. And to the Viro, I'm promising attacking set fizzles out as Riley Flynn steps through the line. Riley Flynn, we've seen this movie before. He gets angle tap from behind. He gives a fantastic ball to Obi Ardworth, and they'll start on the 40. But to the Viro, like I said, just a nothing set there.
Yeah, I do believe that they need a break here and probably just regroup in the second half, and probably a good speech from Riley Flynn and possibly Josh Pretzel as well.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of maybe kicking the ball when you get to the tackle. I think they're attacking the line too directly. Like, obviously, you want to hit that line at pace, but on the 5th tackle, maybe you just take the sting out of your run just a tad so you got time to kick the ball. As the Raiders, they're putting a bomb. It's not a bad option in all things considered. And it's brought down by Tallis Riff, but Riff's maybe about 6 meters away from actually scoring that. You'd want that just a little bit deeper to give yourself options. Now the Knights work their way up over to the 12. And they'll play it now. No order. Flush off to Pretzel, who throws a flat ball to say at least to Mama. Mama hasn't had quite the luck Riley Flynn has in breaking the line, but, the Raiders are very compact at the moment. And you'd probably say that their compactness is probably why they've conceded 2 tries to 2 halves. As the centre stands up in the line just a little bit for the Knights, I'm not sure what he's up to there. Or what she's up to, I think, because Otis Keane at 4. Hodgkinson now, those brought down on the 40. And they can go 40-20, but Rolsey Push says no, she doesn't trust Josh's kicking. I wouldn't either. And I look forward to seeing how Josh does this time. I try not to bag at him too much, but sweet Jesus, his kicking hasn't been good today. But it's a fine enough kick to Tallis Riff. Tallis Riff will dance. Tallis Riff will step 1. I think that's My up in the line. But she steps 2, actually. And they'll make it back to the halfway line. The Raiders have some good field position, but if they keep on getting driven back like that, it's not really going to matter a hell of a lot. Raiders, they'll play it. And with halftime rapidly approaching Tillavaro, whilst the Knights have had clear ascendancy on the scoreboard, what have you liked from the Raiders so far?
I don't know. I like the forwards running, and I don't know about the passing because everything has been like errors central.
You're a better man than me because I just like the jerseys. I've not liked anything they've done so far today. Just poor out of their own end, lazy with the ball, and lackadaisical in defense. As Yuan Maiava now. No, he won't step 1. He's been in a fantastic tackle there from the Raiders centre. And the Knights won't look to do anything too stupid before the halftime break. I think they probably want to go in 12-0. 12-0 is worth its weight in gold in this this season's SRL. I'll wait to see how fitness plays into it in the second half, but for now, I believe we're about to go into the break at 12-0. And unless my might something to say about it, she doesn't. It goes to Jerome Hodgkinson, who steps to the line, but he's brought down in the man tackle. That'll be all for Bulavanaka and other warm Pacific greetings from this tropical paradise that is Newcastle. My name is John Maava, and we've been watching this game so far together. Joining me in the commentary box is my good friend and colleague Tulavara Vakatini. To sum up that first half, all ball Newcastle, Raiders no good. It's been one-way traffic, if I'm being completely honest. 73% of the ball to the Knights. They've completed at 12 out of 15, which is about average for a side. But the real story of this game is that the Raiders have made 7 errors. They've had 27% of the ball. They've made 129 tackles to the Knights' 91. And they've completed at 8 of 14. With more individual breakdowns is my friend Tulavara. But hold the phone, Tulavara, as Godwin manages to force an error. And the Raiders are not going to make me shut up, and I don't blame them. I don't like hearing my voice either. As KTB gets up over the 10-metre line. You would have thought there was just a subtle suspicion of a forward pass there, but the referee waves play on. And Sid pushes over. He's held up, I believe. We'll get to those individual stats in a minute. That's definitely not a try. In fact, that is ultra super duper not a try. No try, yes. As we will take it back out to the 5-metre line, and the Raiders will play it again. They'll have another go. Third tackle this time. They don't go blindside when they were loaded up, but Flynn will step one. Flynn's been very, very good. He's been the Raiders' best player by far, actually. The stats will show it. The Raiders will go right. Godwin gets up to the try line. He's dragged up over the try line. That'll be checked too by the referee. They want to make sure that they're not missing anything. So I don't believe they missed anything here. Yep, also not a try. And we're forced to play it yet again, and they've kind of stymied their own momentum here. 29 metres gaining the set, and the Raiders, they'll look to grubber it, and no, he'll just get poleaxed into the crust of the earth. If the roles he pushed Finn at the start of the game was Finn into the mantle of the earth, he's just been poleaxed into its core. Luke Thompson's son, unfortunately, you're on a YouTube compilation for the rest of your career. That is... Oh, he's not wrapped that much in that tackle either, to be fair to him.
It is successful.
What's the captain's challenge for?
Knock on.
That's also a knock on. There's so much to break down there. That's the first ever SRL captain's challenge, if I'm not mistaken, to Lavara.
One of the first ones.
Secondly, I am so dead sure that was a knock on anyway. But apparently justice prevails, and the Raiders get another chance to fumble, and they do. The Knights now up over the 30. And so, Tulavara, let's go back to those individual stats that we didn't quite get at the start of the first half, as Pancake Gamer flapjack someone. Tulavara, who are the stand-up performers for both sides?
Josh Pretzel already having over 100 kicking meters and also running meters as well. Maava, I forgot how much running meters she got because I only looked at for like 2 seconds. Rolsay Plush as well. For the Knights,
she's
for the Raiders,
yeah.
For the Raiders, Riley Flynn. I haven't seen Tim James at all today, and I think Lucas Stead is one of the standouts as well. As we see
Tim
him
James is taking the spirit of Halloween a little bit too seriously. He's dressed up as a ghost today. As we're beyond with now, over the 40. I love you, Tim, but it's not been your greatest game so far. As Raiders will play it back up to Godwin. Godwin will take a good snipe. Actually, I don't mind that from the 6. The halves from the Raiders haven't really threatened the same way the Knights have. But they'll be forced to kick it down to the wing of Hodgkinson. He's been one of their better wingers so far, Hodgkinson. He makes another one fly, but he's come from the inside. And Tulavara, what have you liked from the Knights' shape so far this game?
They've been playing very, very well, as I'll probably just yap about the interchanges for the Knights. Junior Kamala Loha, I'm tongue twisted, for Joey June. Bailey Monroe-Johns comes in for Cameron Smith, and for the Raiders, Trent Martin comes in for Declan Connell, and Barry Barge for Artie Surveyor.
There's a whole heap of changes. Artie Surveyor, a cross-code convert by the sounds of it. Hodgson now, up to the 45. And the game's settled into its rhythm after that early Knights knock-on. I'm actually still pretty G'd up about the fact that we had our first captain's challenge. I disagree with the premise, but I digress. As TNVC Barnes steps out of 2 tackles there. My gets goose stepped, but it's easy to goose step her. She's frankly tiny. There's Arnworth now. Tim James has another go, and that's the second time we've seen him pump and go from dummy. You want to see that more often because he's a dangerous runner when he gets going. I think that's what his signature was in the SRL 1.0. One of those damaging runs. Riley Flynn, he's been their best so far, hasn't he, Tularo?
Yeah, also with my Marva, I think she's the tray fuller of the SRL. She's tiny, electric as well, and also a powerhouse.
Also got a terrible temper. Anyway, as Goodwin now will send it down the wing of Hodgkinson. Hodgkinson will step. No, he won't step. In fact, he gets smacked. And he's brought down to the 12. Rolsey push. He'll be looking to play another 80 minutes with Rolsey, and I'd hate to be a marker at the ruck, to be completely honest. He runs us a venom as she runs it again, and a lazy marker is caught out. But he's has blushes saved from some good covering defense. And my will step, but they've been respectful over her so far, the Raiders. They've made sure to have 2 men in the tackle when she runs, and that means that they don't get isolated as often. Kami Aloha, now brought down, 28. And Junior is a Samoan international, if I'm not mistaken. He'd be looking to make the Pack All-Stars side, which may be announced later. As Riley Flynn makes the most of a terrible kick, and there's a lot of space there. It does close, maybe a bit deceptive there. And they'll be looking to go right now. Raiders up over the 15, and it's Luke Thompson with a bit of contact. I'd be careful about that shoulder, Luke. He's taken a big hit. Tim James has a go for dummy. It's a slow retreating Josh Pretzel, I believe. And Tim James pumps the legs. He gets close to Tim. Like flatboards, a glorious flatboard, and Mitch Barnes gets met in the contact. I like the options left. If you find Flynn, he scores. Say they find Luke Thompson again, then he'll want to push over it. He'll try, but he won't succeed. And well, they're on their 5th tackle again, and if it's anything like their last couple of 5th tackles, then I'm not really too optimistic to tomorrow.
I don't know what to say. I just don't know. But it'll be a no try because he got holed up.
You know, that's it's just been poor from the Raiders, I should say. Actually, that's one of their better options so far in the game, and to get to Maxwell. And in SRL 1.0, you'd have hated to grab it at Maxwell in open space, but he's put on a bit of weight since 1.0, and now he's a big bopping prop. Him and T. Hay, both former Bulldogs. As gaming out. He'll play at the Plush, and Plush she's had her accuracy. Well, she's been accurate all game, really. She found, as you remember, she found both Pretzel and Realmy for early tries, as the Knights seem to be infected with whatever the Raiders had in the first half. The pass was most definitely not on, and the Knight Raiders will happily regather and launch another attack. Just show me something. Show me anything. Signs of life, CPR, something, please. Luke Thompson, he's been much, much better in this second half. As Tim James has a go, and that's exactly what I want to see from the hard-running hooker. Put someone in the turf, and you just plant those feet and go, son. He wants to get back to dummy. Glenn will have a go, and are we going to play this game of who has a turn at dummy half? Please pass it, Tim. Please pass. Yeah, there we go. Off to Mitch Barnes, and Mitch Barnes, he's been kept in check so far. He won't have too much longer left in this stint. Maybe another 12 minutes. Well, 6 minutes to the prop subs roll, and then we'll have our final interchanges of the game. Godwin puts up a fantastic bomb. Well, Kay would have loved that, as Declan Connell now is brought down. He gives a good fist of it, but just can't quite make it work. Maybe if it's a bit deeper, he would have had to go. Ewan Mayava steps on. Noted bum. Silver grey here, but, has been one of the Knights. He's been one of the better wingers in the competition as well this season, Ewan. Scored a couple of tries. He's really well taken this change in his stride. God bless him, I wouldn't want to be in Newcastle either. There's Maxwell now, up over the 27. 3rd tackle, they're struggling to get to the 40. If they get to the 40, they'll get an attacking kick, but if they don't get that far, they'll have to just punt it, and they're nowhere close, and so they'll have to take a head up on the 4th, and they'll have to punt from inside their half, and that's just not where you want to be. Plush is a bit indecisive, in fact. Those to Pretzel, those are bloody flat ball. He's out for all money, Hodgkinson. And right now, the Knights cannot get out of their way tomorrow.
Yeah, it must be the right to left curse for both sides, because in the first half, Raiders. What's happening?
What? Offside? It's their ball, but Sorry, I'm buffering at the moment. We'll get a rules analyst to comment to my mic piece, to my earpiece, what just happened. But in the meantime, Tavaru, um, I guess that's just emblematic of the Raiders' night.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, the Raiders in the first half were doing lots of the errors. But earlier Knights did the error back there in the touch, but I don't know what the refs were doing, grabbing it offside when they are just trying to play the ball.
So our in-house rules analyst has just messaged me and said that the ref actually has the Raiders 13 and under, has the Knights 13 and under. So that makes sense. Is it now? Knights now get up to 12. And they look to go left. Packer Gamer runs a in-cutting line. And 45 meters gain in the set. Oh, it would suck if they scored off this, especially with all the pressure the Knights. Oh, there's a fantastic handsome either. The Raiders will have to play the way out after, well, to be completely honest, shooting themselves not just in the foot, but maybe also the shin, the knee, and potentially just in the head with that last brain fade. I'm still a little bit befuddled as to what the actual infringement was. Our comms piece have said offside, but I struggle to see how he could have been offside there, if I'm being completely honest. In the list, we must go, and the Raiders will get up to the 31. Inside ball to Flynn, watch out. Oh, sweet Jesus. That's another error. And that's we don't play American football here. To the Raiders imploding.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think he probably had too much butter on his fingers. Just slipped it out forward, and probably he thought he was playing in the NFL. And,
no!
My!
Too strong, which is not something you say for someone her demeanor. But if we get a replay here, she sees that Riley Flynn is he's a bit slow getting out of the marker. She shrugs off a tackle, which you won't see very often. Flynn's kind of caught staring at his feet yet again. And I'm going to call it here, time of death, the 60th minute. I don't see a way back for the Raiders. If I'm being completely honest, I don't see a way back. They've been terrible. I think they've done their fans have made the big trek over here to Newcastle a huge disservice. And it really is showing on the scoreboard now. When it rains, it pours. And yeah, to quote the ABBA song, my, guess how much I missed you, because Mamma Mia, here the Knights go again. It's pretty. I'm a bit lost for words here for the Raiders. They're a good team. They're a very good team. They're a well coached team and they're a well led team. Flinney and Tim James and Mitch Barnes really are all fantastic humans, but they've well and truly lost the plot this game. As the Knights now. Pretzel will weave, and one of the Raiders has just jumped the gun there. And they'll hold him down. Looking to go right, I think. That's exactly what will happen. Kami Aloha up over the 32. And Tilavaro, look, you've been watching this game with me. I mean, what has gone wrong?
I don't know, but you said the Raiders are a quality side. I do agree with that. But tonight's just not their night. They do play very, very well.
I truly believe they're a top 4 footy team when they put it together. Like, we've seen that in recent weeks. Like, they're a good team. What's transparent tonight, I don't think is reflective of how good they normally are. But they've got to sort it out in a hurry because this... Oh, Pretzel. Oh, I don't think they gives them another set of downs. Another set. But it's not quite to be. Flat ball to Barnesy. Barnesy gets up over the 50. Yeah, he's stop trying, Mitch. Unfortunately for him, I think the effort just hasn't quite been there across the entire park. Shout out to Tim James, actually. I think I will lay down the charge at halftime. He's been much better in the second half. Maybe it's a little too late. I know that after that last try was scored, the Raiders tried to seek clarification from the referee as to why they were ruled offside earlier, to which the referee simply shrugged and said skill issue. So we're not quite sure if if there'll be further action stemming from this. But Riley Flynn will get up over the... Oh, sorry, will collect a try, I should say. Sorry, Riley, I've stumbled on my words there. It's a fantastic gather, and he'll score for the Raiders. And maybe there are small signs of life. I'm not going to hold out hope, but it's a very, very good kick there from the Raiders. Puts it on the toe, and Flynn he splits the line. Kame Aloha's caught wondering. Or maybe that's Bailey Monroe-Johns. Actually, no, yeah, it might be BMJ. And my mind just whips on the tackle. To be honest, she goes airborne. And the Raiders will score. 70 minutes of the contest. I suppose it's not out of the question, as it's a must score kick here. It's not a particularly hard one, but stranger things have happened. Oh, Jesus, that was close. As Goodwin makes good, and the Raiders will cut the deficit to 12 points. Tilvaro, what did we see that was different to how they played this entire game?
I did love that kick from Luke Thompson. Nice little grubber. That was very quality. Riley Flynn got the chuckies there. Yeah.
Yeah, just well way to try. He's an elite fullback, Riley Flynn. I love how he plays. Definitely a live wire. You've seen this entire game, the way he steps in the line. I think just needs a little bit of help from his teammates. 15 minutes to score 2 tries is nowhere near out of the question. Unfortunately, they need to get through this playing 100% error-free footy, which they've struggled to do all game. KTB, though, he'll help them. He'll get up to the 28. And they'll play it to Flynn. Flynn steps 1. Up over the 36 now. And if they're just a little bit conservative, they might have a chance at a 40-20. But Barnsley will get up over the 45, and that's well and truly past now. And unless they make a 25-meter gain, oh my god. Yep, that's about summed up their night, really. We've looked for error-free footy to get them back into this game, and instead they go for the Knights. Another bite at the cherry, and if you do this, Relsey Push is going to make you pay. Relsey Push shrugs off one. It's a poor tackle there from, I think it's either. And the final lock sub should roll just now. And Mai is scooting in the backfield. They say the diminutive figure of Mai Maiava. Probably the better of the Maiawas at the moment. As Indurain runs over the top of one, Flynn will try to stop him. Unfortunately for Flynn, to quote a wise old man, too small. Indurain backs him up. No try. Yeah, that's a try. Riley Flynn, unless he's got a hand in there, it's obscured by the Maccas, and we'll get a better look here. Now, Indurain has grounded that, and just like that, has grounded the Raiders' chances of winning this ball game. I mean, a fantastic fend smokes a Raiders defender. I'm not sure he got up in the line there. It's a brave attempt at a tackle, but he's not quite latched on. And I think that's about all she wrote. I think the fat lady, can we call her the fat lady anymore? The plus-sized lady sings for the Raiders' hopes. Pretzel now will take conversion. And Tilivaro, that's probably what the Raiders are missing, just a hard running forward, finishing off opportunities.
Yeah, I do believe that you're right about Liam Kennedy, the ref, betting on the Raiders. He did go no try. But as we talk about Indurain, he is one of the most quality props in the season. He's been featured in lots of Team of the Weeks. And last week for fantasy points, he scored 30.3.
So he's a pretty good performer then. I must confess, I'm not too well familiar with fantasy, but I know a good score roughly, give or take. As Mai has a go herself, just to want to stat pad a little bit, Mai. I believe she's in the SRL Player of the Year race. As Kame Aloha now, in the distinctive red and white headgear. He's been good so far today as junior. And Ronsey Plush will now get up over the 41. And if we talk about Smokies for Origin, I wouldn't put it past Ronsey to make at least a bench, as there's a Falcon and Tim James will make it up to the halfway line. Or just over the halfway line, I should say. Where they forced the error. The Raiders now. Irby Ardworth now up over the 38. And they've got options to the left. They don't take it. They'll go back to instead to Barge, who barges his way over the 30. I'm going to overuse that joke. Sure of it. Raiders now. Fling it left, but he's met in a solid tackle there by a flying defender. I'm not sure who that is. If I get a jersey number, I'll tell you. But for now, the Raiders back to again. They've showed better shape in the second half. Unfortunately, they've left it until the last 10 minutes when they're down by 3 tries. The Knights are holding it on a little bit in the tackle, but the ref doesn't call it. He probably wants to just leave. I don't blame him. Newcastle is not a fun place to be. And Ewan Maiava wants no part of the ball, actually. And Tim James says, no worries, let me score, but let me score on the sideline. And the referee waves his flag. It's his easiest call all game. And again, better shape than the Raiders. In fact, it's a pretty awesome kick. You would have wanted something to happen off it. Tim James is just caught with ball in hand. I don't actually know if that's Tim's fault, to be fair. He's been dragged out there by some solid Knights defence around me. He's done well there. The Raiders. Knights now, sorry, will be looking to just finish this ball game off. Maybe go injury-free if they can. So you know how Staminas have been to the bar. We've had a hell of a lot of injuries.
Yeah, we did have lots of injuries. I think 2 weeks ago, or like in the past few weeks. I do think that in the rain
That's
was
forward.
a that
Sorry,
is
yeah.
forward. I do believe that Indurain is at lock, and I don't know who's at lock for the Raiders.
I'll do some quick math after. I'm not quite sure either, but we'll find out soon, I'm sure. There's Artie Savi now. He's brought down on the 38. And the Raiders, either up to the 30. They'll swing it wide to Godwin. Godwin hasn't stopped trying. He actually put on a fantastic kick earlier. But if they let Godwin kick, they'll be well placed. As Tim James, he'll ever go and he saw green grass ahead of him. And it's Godwin is in position to take the kick. He's deep now, so you'll be expecting a bomb, surely, and it is a bomb. But it's a shit one, and I think it's just a little bit too shallow, and it'll be down to Bunro Jones. Bunro Jones get some space. That would well and truly beat it if he manages to go to length of the field. We go to the last 7 minutes now, and I guess it's just a pride to play for the Knights. It's Joey Jr. up over the 21. And to be fair to them, I do think they've been improved in the second half. The first half was shambolic. And if they'd played it like the second, I think it would be talking about like a one-score game tops right now. But unfortunately, ref calls haven't quite gone their way. And a few gaffes have led the Knights to, just finishing this game off. I mean, the Raiders the first error wasn't their fault. They had an offside off their own penalty. But the Knights scored a try off that penalty. And then they knocked the ball onto their own half, which Indurain finished off, 4 tackles later. So, some things to work on. And sweet Jesus, the kicking's been terrible this game from the Knights to Lamar.
The Raiders have been playing very, very, very meh, I think I should call that. They did play terrible in the first half, no offense, but they did improve in the second half. As we said earlier, errors were mainly the cause.
Yeah, and I think as they look forward to next week, the Raiders, they'll just be looking to sharpen things up. Some ball handling drills, perhaps. Maybe some kicking drills on the last tackle. But I think kicking drills for Pretzel in particular will be in order. But he'll be very happy with the win, and the Raiders will go from strength to strength. They could go near top, I think, with this win. Obviously, be pinning the Rabbitohs game, but they are a solid outfit. The Knights have been very, very good, and he should be very proud of his men. As Hodgkinson now, he won't step his wrapped up, but he won't be trying too hard to break a tackle. The Knights, they are nearly home as Indurain makes another break from lock, and he's been awesome in this last 15 minutes to Indurain. And we'll see push now. Push to the 30. Third tackle, so they'll get to a fourth of the 40, and I wouldn't mind a 40-22 from anyone that's not named Josh Pretzel. Give it to Relmy. Give it to Relmy. No. It's not actually his worst kick of the night, to be fair to Pretzel. But I say that Riley Flynn makes about 20 meters off it. And they'll have to reset it now. Luke Thompson up onto the 30. And the Raiders catch the mapping. Tim James goes straight through. Tim James with a fantastic carry. You would have wanted this earlier, but again, it's never too late to put some points on the board. And we know how important points differential was at the end of the season. Could be the difference between a top 4 spot and the top, and playing for your lives and the playoffs later. It's Riley Flynn's. Tallis needs to step there. And he's brought down, but I think Riley Flynn did everything right there. Drew the man in through the ball, and Tallis Rift's just got to step and score. Yep, it's definitely no try. Tavares, I guess, I get another instance of just a little, close but not close enough.
Yeah, another close try there for the Raiders. I do believe that it was a bit controversial this game, as we see another error from the Raiders. The ref has been a bit controversial.
That's a very nice way of saying he's been terrible. As Pretzel brought down on the 12. And I'll be looking forward to doing our 3-2-1s from this game because there's a lot to ponder, a lot of standouts, and maybe a lot of A little players they've done their play the season chances at maybe some damage. But Smith now up over the 32. Fourth tackle here for the Knights. And the Knights, they'll get up, relatively pushing it up to 38. And they'll just punt it. They'll just want to take the sting out of the game. And the Raiders will get one tackle, and that'll be about it. Unless Taylor's riff shocks us all, goes to the length of the field, which he actually might, because he's got Maimai on the outside. But Maimai covers. She's been really good in cover, actually. She hasn't missed a tackle. No, she's missed a tackle. She hasn't missed a covering tackle all game. That'll be us for the full time. Your final score from the Hunter. It is the Newcastle Knights 24, the Canberra Raiders 6. We'll go to our stats now. And your try scorers, well, you can see the try scorers. Maimai, Mayava, Indirain, Pretzel, and Raumi. For the Knights and for the Raiders, Riley Flynn, Godwin, and Pretzel both went 100% from the tee. Tadvara, why don't you run us through the team stats?
Yeah, of course the most shocking is what I should say. Not really shocking, but 65% to 35 possession. The major thing, completions 25 to 18, and also because of the errors, 7 to 12. The tackles 200 and for the Raiders 239. Missed tackles, those are equal, and line breaks 15 to 17. Meters gained, Knights over 1,000, and Raiders 931.
Yeah, I think the stats tell the story, but we'll get to the personal stats now. And man, I miss Rugby League Live for being able to sort stats. As Rolsey Push with 102 passes, oh my god, 159 run meters as well, I was trying to look at. Pretzel did not run for 227 meters this game. You're having a laugh. That's a rort. Pretzel had a good game. I don't think he ran for 227. As we look through the stats here, and some standouts, 167 from Realme seems maybe about fair, maybe a little bit inflated, but he definitely ran well. Maimai 113, 95 from Pancake is awesome in the 65-minute stint. Latu with 18 runs off the 18 minutes. As we just scroll up a little bit more, I think we'll see try assists in a minute. Rosie Plush with her best Chris Paul impression with 4 try assists. That might be a SRL, close to an SRL record. We'll have to double check the stats. But she is my player of the game. Rosie Plush was fantastic. Didn't miss a tackle. Absolutely hammered the shit out of some blokes at dummy. They tried tackling her. She had just sent them skyward. I mean, it's a fantastic effort. One error, probably not her fault, to be fair. I don't know why it's counted that against her, but yeah, fantastic error from the young Conqueror. She's their best on the ground for my own analysis. It'll go to the Raiders now. And other than Riley Flynn, it's a lethargic effort. I mean, Artie Savia played 40 minutes and made no run meters. I made more meters walking to the commentary box than he did all the day. He was doing cardio out there. Declan Connell from, I believe that's a prop stint. A centre stint, surely. With 2 run meters all game. 4 run meters all game from Trent Martin after being on the pitch for 60 minutes. Yeah, I mean, there's just some pretty poor efforts, and they're going to have to look at themselves in the mirror this week, dust themselves off. The season does not end here for the Raiders, and they'll be aiming up against the Knights next time they see them, because they will see them come the business end of the season. I'm sure of it. This Raiders team is good enough to make the top 4, let alone the playoffs. But Riley Flynn is my standout for them today. 237 run meters seems probably a bit high, but it's about what I'd expect. Farnworth with 137, Godwin with 109. And just some really good efforts, but just not to be in the end. But that'll be all we have time for today. My name is John Boy. It's been a pleasure to have you all with us for your SRL Round 7 action. Joined me by my good friend Tavaru. That'll be all from the Hunter. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. Toodles.